so I'll give them to you straight. Relationship with Christ, because he said he would make his home with us. And often we're just too busy scrolling, too focused on that to-do list, to even engage with him. Trust in God, because we're quick to forget his faithfulness in the past, and remember he will be faithful in every tomorrow. Connection with others, because we have at least 15 tabs open in our brains, even on a quiet day. We're barely cognizant of all the missed connections. The ability to focus on our work, because we are weighed down with worry of every sort. Rest, because our brains continue to buzz even when our bodies beg for sleep. Peace, because our minds and bodies groan under the stress and strain of constant urgency, and we're quick to forget where to find help. Embracing God's grandeur right in front of us, the beauty in our homes, the extravagance of creation, and the richness of relationship are gifts we miss when we aren't really here because our minds are somewhere else. Perspective, because our emotions roll along with the latest news cycle. We feel desperate, or even worse, numb, when we aren't presently anchored by the truth of eternity. Our heritage. We're living one and leaving one, the substance of which will be precisely the sum of what we have spent our days chasing after. The stakes are indeed high. In its simplest form, distraction is a drawing or dragging away from that which we intend to focus on. Its impact often feels slight, barely noticeable, hardly a problem, but it encroaches beyond the current moment. Distraction becomes a conditioning, a training of sorts. Our eyes, our minds, and ultimately our hearts become increasingly fitted and shaped for the drawing away. Distraction is a steady tide pounding the surf, and over time, reshaping the shore, reshaping us. In distraction, we concede direction, and like the shore-shaping tide, it all happens very gradually. A recent study of 1,000 cell phone users in the U.S. revealed that 47% consider themselves addicted to their cell phone. Nearly half. We could call the details and parameters of this survey into question. We could argue the definitions and question the terms. But at a most basic level, do you know what this survey tells us? This survey tells us that we aren't naive. We are not ignorant to the pull to check in or scroll, to refresh the feed or comment, to feel connected or liked or seen. We are not completely unaware of the drawing and dragging away, the hours that are whiled away, but the battle is still likely far greater than we recognize. What if the physical effects of distraction are only symptomatic of a more important issue in the life of the believer? What if eyes prone to wander become correlative to a heart that is much the same? What if a mind fueled by pinball patterns of thinking, emaciated from the kind of focus that could provide any real sustenance, becomes a mind that struggles to linger with the Lord, to remember his ways, who he is, and how he loves? What if distraction is far more dangerous than we realize, and by our very design, we were made for so much more? I've done it just like you have, friend. I've mixed up my kids' names, forgotten what I've walked into a room for, and failed to remember the simple things that matter most in a whirl of my own lack of focus. I have ignored and neglected and been irked by distractions, but I have come to learn that these frustrations are worth noting. External distraction often gives way to internal distraction, and it is vital that we lead our hearts with wisdom here. We are charged in God's word to take every thought captive, but we live in a world that invites us to follow every rabbit trail of thought and belief possible. It's all easily accessible via the swipe of your finger, the vibration on your wrist. We navigate our lives on devices that vie insatiably for our attention and continually orient our thoughts toward the immediate and the urgent over the eternal. They craftily play to our weakest vulnerabilities, a fear of disconnection,